EU needs to take urgent action to stop imports of Russian fertilizers financing its bloody war against Ukraine. At a time when the EU is working on decoupling its economy from Russia, the figures are startling since the 2020-2021 agricultural season. So that is to say that in as much as they are making effort to withdraw all their imports from Russia in order not to be supporting Russia's economy, to aid them to have more war chests in terms of the war that Russia is having with Ukraine. In their 2020-2021 agricultural season, the EU importing Russian fertilizers has doubled. EU imports of Russian urea have doubled. Russia now accounts for around a third of the EU's total imports. So it means that Russia alone imports third of European Union fertilizers in which they are using currently. Yes, that is just the way it is. France imports 80% of its fertilizers needs from Russia. So France alone is importing 80% of its fertilizers from Russia. Sales of Russian fertilizers are providing a major source of revenue and foreign currencies earnings for the Russian state. Its gruesome war machine. It is estimated that the sales of this one product provide revenues of over 1.5 billion euros in 2022-2023. So, in 2022-2023, Russia made profit. The revenue their fertilizer generated from them from EU alone was 1.5 billion euros in 2022-2023. In addition, Russia has introduced a 10% export tax on fertilizers and a tax on excess profits. Yes, because in as much as they are sanctioning Russia equally increased 10% export taxes. Yes, because you cannot push somebody and then show them at the same time where to fall. So Russia is on its own retaliating in the way it can. Both are going directly to fund occupying forces. While EU member states have reduced the amount of Russian gas they buy since the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, imports of urea have soared. So in as much as the EU have reduced their importation of Russian gas, their importation of Russian fertilizers have equally soared. The prices of gas is the main factor in the costing of making urea, as Russia regulates gas prices and keeps them low. This has made it possible for fertilizer makers to undercut EU producers. So, yes, one man's disadvantage is another man's advantage. So, in as much as Russia undercuts its gas prices and keeps them low, you see, then this has made it possible for fertilizers makers to undercut EU producers, because the Russian fertilizer is cheaper, so it's making the people in the EU to undercut the EU producers to go for the Russian fertilizers. So that is the way it is. When a healthy competition is good in business, people go to where they can get value for their money and at the same time get it cheaper. Because if a farmer can get the fertilizers cheaper, it has a way of affecting the prices he will place on the goods when he finally has the goods, or when he finally have his harvest.